Hello and welcome. Today on the show, we are talking about scholarships. We are talking about the RTAG Nation, the RTAG Convention and all the updates and a little bit about the industry. We've got two former scholarship winners that are stopping by. Welcome to RTAG Nation Live. Hello and welcome back to RTAG Nation Live. So excited to have you stopping by. We've got some exciting stuff to talk about for the convention. We do have to talk a little bit about our scholarships, and then like I said earlier, we've got some people that are stopping by that are actually scholarship recipients that are going to talk to you about kind of their journey and how they came to find out about RTAG and get the scholarships. I am, of course, Josh Lee, the VP, your host for all of the fun today. Make sure we've got some exciting stuff coming up in the next couple weeks, including giveaways with some Bose headsets and possibly some swag store merchandise as well. And you're probably going to see that my mouth is moving and my voice is probably coming through weirdly, but that is because I live in the country now and I have weird internet. So we're working on that piece, but definitely make sure that you run over to YouTube and subscribe as we turn some new things, new channels out and some new product information. We're going to be putting out more and more information here soon with the YouTube page, and we're going to be talking with a lot more long form versions of this essentially, but not live. We're going to be talking to some CEOs. We've got stopping by from some airlines. We've got a bunch of recruiters stopping by and a lot of other things that I think you might want to check out. And again, like I've promised, we've got reviews coming that are going to be talking about everything from airline bags to lunch coolers and all kinds of interesting stuff like that. And let me jump over real quick. I will show you. We get asked this all the time, but the convention is coming up October 21st, 22nd, 23rd. And you can see right here, you can see all of the people that are coming so far. And we do want to give a huge thanks to American Airlines for being our diamond sponsor this year, and I'll talk just a few minutes what that means. But American Airlines has really put their money where their mouth is to help us out this year and to invest into those of you who are part of this nation, and that is super exciting, and we just want to say thank you to them as well. Well, I want to go ahead and jump off without further ado. We want to talk about scholarships. If you didn't know, our scholarships are live on the website. We have I don't even remember how many. We have so many scholarships. I'm going to pull it up right now. If you didn't know, go to the website, click on scholarships. You can find the RTAG Flight Training Scholarship that's presented by American Airlines. That is $20,000 this year, thanks to American Airlines, that we're able to give away for a transition scholarship. That's open live right now. As always, our Chris Beziges Memorial RTAG Scholarship worth $10,000. In fact, we've got last year's winner of that, and we're going to talk to her here in just a second. But that's open. We have a board of directors scholarship this year for $10,000. We've done a lot of work this last year. We've gotten so many donations that we put together a board of directors scholarship that we're going to be choosing this year for the applicants. We are going to give away $10,000 to the flight school of your choice. We've got the RTAG Flight Training Scholarship sponsored by United Airlines. Thank you, United, so much for being able to let us give us out scholarship. Envoy is going to partner with us this year for RTAG Flight Transition Scholarship, $5,000, and we've got two of those, so it's $10,000 total, but $5,000 to each. That is super excited. And then also you'll see on there that we've partnered with the Ashton Johnson Memorial Cloud Dancer Scholarship, and you can click there on the link to get more information about those things. But so many scholarships that are available. So if you don't need a scholarship, make sure that you share this video out or share that scholarship page or share something from our Facebook page to get people to apply for that scholarships. All of the information is on the website, rtag.org, and you can get on there, and then it closes, I believe, the very beginning of September. We'll be awarding those scholarships at the convention at our Epic 80s party, and we are working right now to get more seats and more places available for that 80s party. And it's going to be incredible. So make sure that you bring your costumes and outfits for the 80s party. We have a live 80s band. We're going to be giving away hopefully more scholarships to come. And we're working with some other vendors and some other airlines to give away scholarships to this amazing community. But speaking of scholarships, sometimes it's hard to understand what scholarships, how they work and what you use them for and what might come out of it. So we've actually got two winners from last year that I'm going to bring on here in just a second they've done their scholarships and they've got some interesting stories about kind of how they found the scholarships, why they applied, and what happened afterwards. So we got some a pretty cool story. And so without further ado, I'm actually going to bring on Stephanie Garcia and Zach Shaha, if I said that right? Is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. Yep. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Zach. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing well.
We are... Obviously, we've talked to you quite a bit before, but just super excited. I know that one of the things that if you weren't at the convention last year, it was really cool. We were able to give Zach his scholarship in person, which was super exciting on the Midway. And then we were able to give Stephanie her scholarship on FaceTime. We were talking on FaceTime, and that was super, super exciting to be able to do that. So what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about, kind of before we dive into the scholarship section, maybe talk a little bit about how you guys got to where you're at. So let's start with you, Stephanie. What, as far as military experience, kind of take me through a quick overview of where you started military, because I think it's really interesting for a lot of our people.
All right. So, military family. Dad took me to my first air show when I was 4. He is a Marine. So of course I grew up, I'm going to go fly Marine jets, right? Like that was
Nice.
my thing. Right after college, I didn't do ROTC or anything, but right after college, I started applying for, the Marine programs, PLC, and everything else. Tried to get picked up straight to seat, didn't do it. They only had ground contracts. I guess not really straight to seat, but they only had ground contracts. So tried doing that for a couple years, and then started talking to an Army recruiter for the Guard, and he said, I can have you in basic training, 3 months, flight candidate, et cetera, et cetera. So I hopped over there in 2010, went off to OCS after basic at Benning, broke my ankle, had to be sent home. After that, they decided to send me to 15 Tango School to get me into an MOS producing school before, the 2-year mark. So I decided, okay, this isn't so bad. I was a crew chief for a while and then made the hop up front to fly Hawks again in the Texas National Guard.
Nice.
After that, Alpha Lima's in flight school, transitioned to Mike's, and then volunteered for deployment with Apaches. So sent to the transition course at Rucker, lived in the hotel with 2 working dogs for 5 months, and got out of there. Went to the unit down south at Ellington, first the 149th. Love those guys. Got pulled off the deployment with the drawdown in Afghanistan, and I'm currently in the process of being medically retired. I've had my 2nd spine surgery.
Oh, wow.
We kind of all know what those are like.
That's
So
right.
back and neck injuries. So I'm that's kind of where my career is ending, if you will. It's still ongoing, but should come to a close here fairly shortly.
That's awesome. Well, same question to you, Zach. Where you've actually pretty familiar, and if you guys didn't know, we'll talk about it in a little bit. But Stephanie and Zach not only have a very interesting similar history, but they've become really good friends through some of the processes. But Zach, yeah, tell us a little bit about your journey as well in the military side.
Yeah. I joined in December of 2013 as also a 15 Tango. I came out straight out the gate, enlisted at 17. Went to become a 15 Tango. Shortly thereafter, got picked up as a crew chief. Started flying for the Wisconsin Army National Guard as a crew chief. And then in 2020, I went to flight school for the same unit, the Wisconsin Army National Guard. And then after going to flight school, I came back and I had 200 hours going into flight school with a private, and then worked on my instrument while I was in Common Corps down there, just grinding out hours and training. Got my instrument at flight school while I was in flight training down there, and then commercial and CFI right when I got back. Just did an accelerated course because I had the hours and requirements met. Then this last spring at Prey, I was with Stephanie down there. Actually, that's where I met her. I was doing my multi commercial CFII and MEI down there while she was down there doing her multi training and a bunch of other fixed wing training, time building stuff at Prairie in Kansas. So just got all the ratings knocked out, and here I am.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And the reason I wanted to talk about that story really quick is because it's really fun to see. One of the big things we like to do is that we call it E2A, but it's really fun to see people go from enlisted, backseat, wanted to fly, front seat, did it, and now is being able to do their stuff in the airline. So that's really, really, really exciting to us, and kind of see where you're at. So tell me a little bit about how you guys decided. How did you decide, Stephanie, to come to the airlines? Like, this is what I want to do. I want to fly in the airlines.
Well, I'd always wanted to fly in the airlines, but it always kind of seemed unattainable until recently. I actually didn't start my journey until, I guess, January of last year, so January of 21. I knew that my time in the Army was probably going to be cut short after my first spine surgery, so I decided I needed a backup plan because I didn't want to stop flying.
Right.
So I had 0 hours when I started. Um, Found RTAG through some people talking at, the unit. Can't even remember who it was at this point, and started reading about Cool Money. Used Cool Money to get part of my private.
Awesome.
Had spine surgery actually right after that, and then I was paying out of pocket. It kind of seemed a little unattainable at that point. And then RTAG came along and helped me out quite a bit there.
That's awesome. What about you, Zach? What kind of did you always want to fly in the airlines, or did you know what you wanted to do?
I was kind of leaning toward military aviator. I would have loved to go Air Force fixed wing, but I just the way my life kind of shook out, I just never really. I did one semester of college and then got deployed. Was told I was being deployed during my semester, so got one semester under my belt, and then that was it. So haven't gone back since, and I'm not regretting the decision because
Nice.
it's turning out just fine right now. So I think that an airline career is a little more suited for me, just not being stuck at a desk, riding a desk all the time. I like to be doing something, and I really enjoy flying, so it fits.
Yeah, and are you doing reserves or National Guard?
National Guard.
Awesome. So yeah, and Stephanie, you're doing National Guard as well, or getting ready to be done with National Guard. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's always something that I like to bring up as well, just because I'm still a reservist. I was active for almost 17 years and came to the reserves and really enjoyed it. And so that's something, for those of you who are out listening to this, definitely if you're like the reserves, do it. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot better medical expenses, but it works out pretty good. Well, both of you guys obviously have come to know RTAG. How did you guys first, Stephanie, you told us about how you first found out about RTAG. Zach, how did you first find out about RTAG?
I was introduced to RTAG. I was kind of integrated with it when it kind of started forming. Sean Searle, he was the
Yeah, we love
RTAG
Sean.
volunteer coordinator of the convention last year. He kind of was talking to me about it and got me involved with it. And I owe a lot to him. He's helped me out a ton along the way, getting resumes ready and getting me down as a volunteer in RTAG. That helped out a lot. It was a great experience. Looking forward to going down there again this year. But Sean was a big one in introducing me to it, getting me involved in it, and very grateful for it.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's again another thing that's very unique about our community, the military community. We count on so much mentorship. It's just ingrained in us. So it's just something that we do. I think Stephanie, you had talked to Jim quite a bit as well, if I'm not mistaken, before kind of leading up to all this. Correct?
Yep, I talked to Jim. I actually talked to a lot of people about all of this with the whole airline journey. In the Guard, you meet
Yeah.
so many people that do the airline gig as well. Actually took a big pay cut to leave a civilian job to make the leap, just because, like Zach said, I didn't want to get stuck behind a desk anymore.
Right.
It was just wearing on my conscience and knowing that I was going to kind of quit flying in the military. I wanted to find something that would allow me to continue flying. But no, Jim, talked to Jim a bunch about it. Have some other really good mentors that are not only Guard pilots, but also airline pilots. really good CW5 friend who's a first officer at United, has a really awesome career and has just really guided me through this entire process, along with a couple other, believe it or not, Apache drivers. There are at least four of them, if I'm not mistaken, that are in the airlines just from my unit alone.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's kind of what we want to see, and that's what we love to see. So, what was it? I'll kind of let each of you go. Zach, let you go first this time. But where did you find out about the scholarship, and what made you want to apply for it, other than it was free money?
Honestly, I was just following the RTAG page. I saw the post said, scholarship window is open. It was last year I did it. The scholarship window was open, and it said no one's applied so far, or there's only like two or three
Yeah,
applicants or whatever it was. And I saw that post, and I'm like, man, I've paid for out of pocket for all my training up to this point. All my flight time had been out of pocket. And I knew I was going to do it. I knew I was going to the airlines. I knew I wanted to, that's exactly what I wanted to do. And so I reached out and clicked on the link on the website and started typing away an application for the scholarships, for all the scholarships I could, to just try and supplement that little bit that would help me. And in the end, I mean, I got the $5,000 RTAG scholarship from you
yeah,
guys to go use it at Prairie Aviation in Augusta, Kansas. I had used the Army Cool, so it was 9 grand that I took there that
that's
I
awesome.
was just didn't have to pay out of pocket. So that was huge. I mean, I got 3 ratings in 20 days
Wow,
out of that, and a table endorsement. So it was and I was like big boxes checked right toward
right?
my restricted ATP. So it
That's
was
awesome.
instrumental in
Oh,
getting me to where I'm at.
sorry, I switched the button too quickly.
No, you're
Stephanie, same
good.
for you. What made you want to put in for the scholarship, or what what really thought, okay, I could try for this thing?
All right, this might get emotional. I'll try to hold it together, but anyhow, so I was working civilian job, guard gig, plus a third job,
Hmm.
just trying to pay for all of this. I've had cancer before, had the spine surgeries, and there's medical expenses there. So between that and then everything else, just there were a lot of expenses, and just trying to pay for it, I mean, it was a lot. So don't get me wrong, the money side of it was great,
Right.
but I actually almost quit flying November of 21. Um, actually 20, sorry. So I had a really good friend, and I told this story on the RTAG page.
Yeah.
He was a great guy. His name was Marwan. He wanted to fly more than anything. He was an architect in New Jersey, or actually not New Jersey, sorry, Massachusetts. And so randomly saw this post on this website, an A&M website, and said, "Hey, my cousin's looking for a letter of recommendation for the sworn officer flight training thing." I was like, "Well, I can't really, I can't really write it, but I just happen to know some senior warrants who are good friends of mine, and let's see if I can help this kid out." So I emailed him, said, "Hey, let me talk to you before I go to these people. I want to make sure you're a quality guy. I'm not going to take just
Right.
anybody and put them in front of these people." So I got in touch with him. Really great kid. Um, put him in touch with a senior warrant friend of mine. He got picked up for the training program, and off he went to flight school. And we kept in touch. So after a while, I ended up going to Rucker, and by keeping in touch, I mean we became really good friends. So I ended up going to Rucker for the Apache transition. That was the first time I met him, and just a really good dude. Really, really just solid person all around. So Marwan was, telling me, "Hey, Steph, you got to do this. You hate your job, go fly, get your fixed wing
Right.
stuff." And he was just my cheerleader, one of them, anyways. So, uh, yeah, Marwan died when his helicopter crashed in Egypt. But because of him, like I'm doing this for actually a couple people.
Right.
But yeah, mainly because I knew he would want this for me.
That's awesome.
So Yeah, that's one of the reasons. The second one, actually, I've met a guy here. He's in the Louisiana National Guard, and he knew another mutual friend. So when Marwan died, um, another good friend of mine named Zach, Zach was, hey, you can't quit. You can't do that. You got to keep going. You got to do this, that, and the other. You just can't. And Zach was my hype man. Like he was just another cheerleader of mine.
Yeah.
And I mean that guy, he didn't care what I was doing. He was going to tell me, you got to go do this. You could, just support all the way. Um, we're actually a few days away from coming up on the 1 year anniversary of his death. He was spraying crops in Alabama in a helicopter, and he hit a fiber optic cable,
Mm.
and unfortunately he lost his life. So that's uh that's why I'm doing this, because I wanted to quit and I can't. Not with them. You
Yeah.
know, they give up their lives doing what they love, so I'm lucky to be able to keep doing this.
Yeah, that's so exciting. And I remember, I distinctly remember reading everybody's, we read all of these essays and all of these things and why. And Stephanie, I remember talking with the board that yours stood out really, it was just really clear. It stood out to us quite a bit. And obviously we have tons of people that read it, and it's incredible. I mean, it's like everything when we thought about it, and same with you, Zach, and it's just everything where every time we look at these applications and we look at these essays, we're looking for something that really embodies the reason that we do RTAG. The reason that the four of us and the original group of people that started RTAG was to give back to those who can't, for exact reasons you said. All of us have lost people. All of us have reasons to drive on. We all have like family members, or like you said, cheerleaders is a great word for it. But there's so much support in this community. And what we're finding out from all these airlines, when they come to these events with us, they start to see that, and it's way different than anything they've ever said, and it is or ever seen, and it's really awesome to see. I know at the Midway last year, we had people come up to us and say, "Man, we didn't realize, we didn't understand the scope of kind of why you all do what you do," and so yeah, so that's such a super powerful story. From both of you. And I think it's really exciting. And I know that for you, Stephanie, we talked a little bit before or right after, I think you won the Chris Besdes, which again, it's in honor of a guy who gave everything he had, died from cancer. And we wanted to honor him because RTAG wouldn't be what it is today without him. And so those are super, super exciting stories. And we just love that we can see the growth for being able to give more scholarships out. So let's talk about what has happened since you guys got the scholarships, right? Because sometimes it's funny. People concentrate a lot on the money, right? So $10,000, $5,000, that's a lot of money, especially when maybe you don't have GI Bill, or maybe you've given it to your family and you're paying out of pocket. Man, $5,000 is a lot of money. But I think sometimes we lose it's almost like it's another, for lack of a better term, cheerleader, that it's just another thing saying, okay, yeah, you can do this. So Stephanie, what has happened? I know there's some both exciting news, but for both of you guys, but tell me what's happened since you won the scholarship and kind of where you're at now.
All right, so a lot of flying, an awful lot of flying since then. Um, Went up to pray, flew back home, went back up to pray, came back and flew some more. Actually, Zach and I, well, I'll let Zach tell his news. I got picked up by iAero. I'm currently sitting at InDoc right now in my hotel room. So ended up going to ATP Jets with Zach at the same time.
Nice.
And we've got another friend, he'll appreciate the shout out, Dan, that's going to be coming here to iAero next month. So our recruiter, Jeff, I've been funneling everybody that's interested through him. So he's
That's
been
awesome.
getting them on as quickly as he can, after getting interviews rather, and then they go through the interview process. So that's where I'm sitting right now. I'm at IRO, and I'm excited to be here.
That's so cool. And I remember talking, and Jim was talking to you too, right after you got the scholarship. We were like, oh man, I can finish all my stuff now. And, another big shout out as well for one of the other things, our diamond sponsor, we'll bring him up, American Airlines also, they were able to give you some miles as part of that as well, right? To help you get back and forth and do some
They
flying back
were.
and forth.
They did. I haven't used them yet. I'm saving them for when I have some more free time. It's been honestly just back to back flying or courses. And, I was still working up until at my other job until the
Yeah.
middle of May. So it's been back to back, but hopefully could go somewhere kind of cool instead of just using it for, work stuff.
Yeah.
IRO flew me up to Greensboro, so I haven't really had to use miles for anything. And ATP was up in, ATP Jets is up in Dallas.
Yeah.
So at the time I was only 3 hours away, so I just drove up there. So I'm looking forward to a vacation at some point.
Awesome. That's super cool. Well, Zach, tell me a little bit about what's happened with you since since you won the scholarship and were able to finish up your training.
Yeah, so I got the scholarship. I finished up all the ratings and stuff, came back and started working full time as a CFI here in Wisconsin. The the airline miles I actually used to go down, unlike Steph, I used them for work. I went down to the ATP CTP course with it, and Steph had a car, so she drove me around, so that worked out.
Nice.
It was, but yeah, I went and did the ATP CTP course with Steph down there, and then I got a CJO from IRO as well. I got a class date of
Nice.
September there. So just headed to the same spot and super excited to be able to, that privilege to be able to just go to 737s. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's like 12 or 15 steps just to start that thing up. So it's like a helicopter. You'd be pretty happy.
Right?
Some of us, we have to have places for our coffee, and I would just want to flip one button to start up the Airbus. But that's awesome. I mean, and iAero's been around with us for quite a while, and they've been such a good support for us as well. Super awesome. Like, we can't thank American Airlines enough. We say it a lot, but they gave out the points, or I'm sorry, the mileage, and that was amazing. And they've been such a huge supporter, and so we're just super, super happy for you all that, just a little bit. And again, it's nothing that we do at all. They're all donations that are given to us. And we're able to just, when everybody asks, I get asked this quite a bit, and I know Eric does, and Jim and Tim, that this must take a lot of time. And I think a lot of people think that we make a lot of money off of this. We make negative money off of this. I think we probably have paid way more in, but we do it because it's specifically for things like this, to be able to say, hey, we were able to give somebody, a small scholarship, and it got them to IAERO. I mean, 737s after flying helicopters. And that's super exciting to see. I think this year we'll be able to give away so much more. I can't even imagine. We've got some more kind of things in the works right now that we may be able to do, and continue to give away. So, I just want to say thanks for stopping by. It's super important for people to get it firsthand from you all, not only being part of the nation, but being recipients of these scholarships, that it's a more personal account. What if you had to give one, you can say paragraph or whatever, but just one thought to all the people about whether or not they, one, I think, want to do this airline gig, or two, can do this airline gig, or three, if they're on the fence about maybe coming to the convention and or doing a scholarship, what would you tell somebody who's saying, I don't know, I'm on the fence? Give it to us, Stephanie. What do you got?
So I'm leaving a job, paying a lot of money to take a pay cut. Well, it may actually not even be a pay cut. Right now, there's so much flying to do here at this company that I'm not even sure it's going to be a pay cut once I get on the line. I took a leap of faith. I went to flight school with a 2.5-year-old in tow. She's 9 now. I'm doing this on my own. If I can do it out of pocket, I don't have a GI Bill. I volunteered for deployments. I don't have a GI Bill. VRNE told me no multiple times. I did use cool money, but if I can do it with, it seems like a mountain of stuff sitting in front of me between cancer, spine surgeries, trying to pay for it, trying to manage job and kid and everything. If I can do all of that, then there's somebody out there wondering, okay, do I really have what it takes to do this? Can I make it work? Trust me, there's always, where there's a will, there's a way.
I love it.
Again, there's a lot of flying to be done here. Seeing the paychecks of some of the people that are flying here and making money, it seems a little daunting at first, but it's a great time to be joining the airlines. And if you ever need any help or need any advice, I'll be whoever's cheerleader. I can be your hype man.
Oh, I love that. That's exactly how it should be. Zach, what about you?
I just recommend, if anyone wants to start flight training and get to this level, just do it. Just dive in. And a lot of people take forever to do it, right? And that's just, I see Eric say it all the time in comment sections. I see everyone say it, seniority is everything. Get to that airline as soon as you can, and it'll make the big difference. Just apply for scholarships. Not even like RTAG ones, AOPA ones, everything you can do to help yourself. There's a lot of opportunities out there, especially for veterans. So use all your resources. Go to the RTAG convention, meet people, talk to people, make connections. It makes a big difference for everyone to see your face, meet you. I can't thank Sean Searle enough for bringing me into RTAG and getting me involved. But just be there, show up, and go fly, knock out the ratings, get to the airlines.
That's awesome. Well, both of you guys, thanks so much for stopping by. It's like I said, it's much better to hear from you that actually have done it and done the scholarships and been able to use them. And so we thank you guys so much. We look forward to keeping on with what you all are doing. We look forward to seeing more pictures, probably of your faces on the Facebook page with your type certificates and things like that. But thank you so much, and we really appreciate it. And come to RTAG in DFW if you get a chance. So we'd love to see you there.
Well, planning on it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Thanks, Josh, and thanks Tim, Eric, and Jim as well. Thanks.
Awesome. We'll see you guys. Thanks. Well, there you go. It's incredible. Oh, Sean Searle said, and volunteer. And PJ said, it's free for veterans. You can't beat it. You really can't beat it. Zach and Stephanie, such an inspiring story for both of them. Just that's the kinds of things that really, I know I speak for the other board members, that just lifts our hearts. That's what really makes the difference to us and why we keep doing this. So much so where we have bags in our eyes and we're tired and our, family is like, stop doing some RTAG stuff this week. But we just, we love doing it, and we love being able to see these stories of success. And we love being able to carry these stories of success from the military all the way through to seeing people. I get to go in a new hire class a lot at Frontier, and I see all of these people from RTAG, and it's amazing to see these people get to these airlines. And it is it's just inspiring to me to watch this go in all these different stages. So like I said before, if you missed the early parts of this broadcast, scholarships are live. Go check them out. We got one that's $20,000 thanks to American Airlines this year. Transition scholarship is $20,000. We've got the Chris Besdes for $10,000. We've got a couple $5,000 scholarships from the board of directors. We got a $10,000 scholarship for the board of directors. Just to say thank you. Here's a couple comments that we've got going on. Oh, Casey Ferris, see you there. I'll see you there, buddy. Eric Hughes says, couldn't agree more. Great info. Took about 3.5 years to land a major and just shy of 3.8 years. That's specific to land the forever job. There's no better time than now. Eric is not lying. The hiring numbers are insane. We're talking thousands of legacy carriers, ULCC, cargo. Everybody's hiring. If you haven't seen the list here, I'll show it to you one more time. This is who we've got so far. More coming to announce. You see American Airlines is our diamond sponsor. United is a platinum sponsor again. We've got Delta and FedEx and Frontier. We've got a bunch of flight schools, Infinity Flight Group, Prey Aviation. We've got all these places that are so great. Atlas is joining us for the first time this year. We've got helicopters. You want to stay flying helicopters or you want to transition to helicopters? We've got those people as well. Sean just says, United Airlines, February hire, 800 people below them already. That's how many people they're hiring right now. You want to go to an airline or to a helicopter carrier, they're going to be there. We have more exciting people and that have already been talking to us about signing up as vendors this year. It's going to be amazing. It really is going to be the one-stop shop in DFW that you do not want to miss when you get down there. Free for veterans. Civilians, if you want to come, it's $50 donation. And that $50 we take directly into, and we are able to give scholarships out to those who have served our country and served us to be able to do this. Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Department of Homeland Security, whatever you want. If you want to be in the aviation industry, you want to fly, we want you to be with us. So we are working right now to give you some updates. I am working pretty hard as much as I can to try and get more space for our 80s party. So right now everything's sold up, and I'm hoping that in the next week or so, we will have some more tickets. to give out on those. So you're going to want to be hot on that and make sure that you get that. Is going to be an absolute blast. It's actually going to be, the scholarship portion is going to be live streamed. You're going to have a bunch of airlines there just kind of hanging out, kicking it. If you haven't volunteered yet, then make sure we have a list right now. I think we're pretty close to full for volunteers, but there's always a wait list and we'll always find something to do. PJ, if you'd do me a favor in the comments section, if you'd throw an email address or something that people can get a hold of you, PJ Edmonds is going to take care of our volunteers this year. But we definitely want to see you. We definitely want to see you out on both days. On the website, hotel data, it's there. I think we sold out of the hotel we put up there in, I think, like 15 minutes, and we've added more rooms. Obviously, we're competing with professional football that weekend. I think it's like 2 professional sports events. There's some college sports events. So we got as much as we could in for the deals. So try to start finding places to get hotel rooms. You're not going to want to miss it. They're booking up really, really quickly. We have just so much exciting stuff to talk about over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be sitting down with some new vendors, some people we're going to be working with, some of these, the Atlases. We've got, hopefully I'll get Corey Glenn to come back on here with American, and we'll talk that. And PJ, there it is right there. PJEdmondsJr@gmail.com can help you out to get set up for volunteering. I know he's working that list to try and get it squared away for you. But those of you who can't come, if you're deployed, if for some reason you can't make it, we are going to be live streaming a large portion of this event at our YouTube channel. So make sure you go over there and subscribe. That's coming as well. Again, lastly, our scholarships are live. It is ready to go. You can get in there and apply. We've already seen quite a bit of applications, and we're super excited to announce the next winners, the next people, hopefully, that will come out of their military transition, be able to save a lot of money and not do out of pocket, be able to get paid for by a ton of people and vendors and airlines that really believe in what you've done for the last anywhere from 5 to 25 years in your career, that want to give back money and time to you in scholarships. So use those. We're going to have some flight schools that we're going to talk to on here. Well, we talked to Prey Aviation. You can go and look at that on the YouTube channel, the previous ones. But if you're looking for places to go and get your transition training done, we're going to be talking to some more flight schools that have a bunch of different opportunities to use COOL, to use credentialing assistance, to use CSP, to use scholarships, and the GI Bill. So we cannot thank you enough. On behalf of Eric, Jim, Tim, and myself, we just cannot thank you enough for what you do to make RTAG Nation truly what it is. We may do a lot of the work in the back end, but really what you do at the airlines every single day is making a difference, and the name that's getting out there for RTAG is really making a difference. So it is just amazing and awe-inspiring and humbling to see the work that is going into what you all do at the airlines every day and in those. So make sure you share this with somebody if you can. Share this video, share that scholarship page. Let's get some people some scholarships this year to really hopefully change their life for the better and be able to help out. In the meantime, probably 2 weeks from now, the next RTAG Nation Live, and you'll start to see that information on the Facebook page. We are just humbled to be able to do this every day. And we thank you. And we look forward to seeing you at the convention. And we look forward to seeing you next time on RTAG Nation Live. We'll see you.